all that rises must set, our days with the sunset bend. But tell me how a love like ours can meet such a tragic end. Indeed, the most painful thing that any of us can and will, or perhaps has experienced, is the loss of our own fathers. To see that man who raised us, fed us, clothed us since our birth, all those years, to see him finally meet the angel of death is something that I cannot comprehend. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lengthens the lives of all your fathers and my own, and for those of you who have lost your fathers, may Allah let them rest in eternal peace. But indeed there was no relationship quite like that of the daughter of the Prophet with the Prophet himself. The daughter who was so close to her father that they would call her Ummu Abiha, the mother of her father. Imagine her pain, knowing that her father, the best of creation, has returned to his Lord. She speaks to him with a romantic tongue and tells him, Father, all that rises must set. Our days with the sunset bend. But tell me how a love like ours can meet such a tragic end. There exists a love born before we're born. Love for Muhammed on our hearts is worn. It sleeps in our blood. If from it we are torn, left in your absence, forever we'd mourn. Oh Father, how can such a love so entrenched within our blood be torn away from this same blood? I watch it flow down I watch it down my cheeks flood. I feel the sunset deep within my heart, as if from my days, oh my Father, I part. Our love, just like a day, beautiful it starts, and yet its sunset tears this day apart. Our hearts were one, oh my Father. Today one half was stolen, and by your absence the other is left shattered and broken. You became the best of all creation, and your absence has broken a nation. But I swear their grief and their lamentation doesn't equal mine, nor my affliction. If my grief were poured onto the skies, I would see the seven skies shatter. And in your absence, oh my Father, no sun or stars would matter. When I was little, left me my mother. I had one parent, and that was my father. If you ever left my sight, I would look further, and if I did not find you, this rose would wither, a rose planted upon this earth, searching for all that it has known. The stem of this rose has been crushed, with your absence upon it thrown. Whatever begins, ends eventually. And there are deaths in every family, but no one has had you. You touch beautifully, let all of them die, just leave Muhammad only. I wish the world would break in two and take away everything, for it would be a better place if only you were living. I cry out to scream, come back, O Muhammad, for I see fire to our house has been led, and I see ashes covering my head. From a nail's pierce, I see blood has bled. I feel torture that none have felt, and toward your grave I turn. Along with my door and my heart, I watch my love for you burn, because Father, all that rises must set. Our days with the sunset bend. But tell me how a love like ours can reach such a tragic end. Tell me how a love like ours can reach such a tragic end. By Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat. Of course, dare I say that the occasion of the anniversary of the death of the best of creation, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is overshadowed only by the day of Ashura. But there is a very heartbreaking relationship between the day of Ashura and the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They say, after all that Imam Husaini alayhi salam had seen, on that day. Be it that he saw the hands of Abbas cut off. Be it that he saw Awn and Muhammad slaughtered. Be it that he saw the body of his nephew Qasim dragged across the floor. Be it that he saw, after he would pass, the tents put ablaze and his daughters running from tent to tent. There was one tragedy that truly broke the heart of Abdullah, that truly almost took his soul away. And that was the martyrdom of his son, Ali al-Akbar. Of course, just like for a son or a daughter to lose their father is almost incomprehensible, it's even more incomprehensible for a father to lose their son or daughter. And maybe one of the reasons that Imam Husaini alayhi salam felt so destroyed with the death of his son was because every time he yearned the sight of his grandfather, Prophet Muhammad, he would just look towards Ali al-Akbar. And one would ask if that's Ali al-Akbar on the floor or Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So today I say that two Muhammads disappear. What a connection they share. A grandson and a grandfather. Whilst a moon buries a son, Ali, a father weeps for his son, Hussein, Muhammad leaves with Akbar. Two Muhammads disappear. What a connection they share. A grandson and a grandfather. Whilst a moon buries a son, a father weeps for his son, and Muhammad leaves with Akbar. In Medina, the best of all chests would open. Departs the best soul of all men. Its body cries, farewell, O Muhammad. His soul departs fairly easily, carried by the cries of Ali, lifted by all the tears that he's shed. Whilst another soul also departs. As it departs, it shatters hearts, as Hussein cradles Ali Akbar's head. As this lone father would grieve, Ali Akbar's soul finds it so hard to leave through all the blood that his neck had bled. Muhammad was named Ahmed, and Akbar looks like Muhammad, and this destroys his father. Two Muhammads become one. How often do suns extinguish? Ali, the moon is in anguish, sealing the sun deep beneath the ground, from one land towards another, from one brother to a father, and yet Hussein's wailing the same sound. He cries, "Oh Ali, come and see a Muhammad that is named Ali, in his blood today has drowned. Muhammad he would once resemble, but to see him I'm unable. In too much blood my son I have found. I know you buried Ahmed, but not in the blood that he'd bled. I cry out your name, O my father. If I call you, will you come?" A grandfather taken away, grey hair that makes all hair turn grey. The prophet cries, "No prophet suffered like me." The dust, it shies away from his scars. As he's buried, falling are stars, just like tears from the eyes of Ali. Ali hears Hussein and he replies, saying, "The best of all in my hands lies, and to the dust I must give him away. The first eyes that my eyes set upon, and his shoulders my feet stood on, freeing God's house from idolatry. My son, I fear for my health. It's as if I bury myself. A Haydar burying a Haydar, I put beneath earth a son." Hussein replies, Hussein hears his father and replies, "Oh my father, then Muhammad, one is better. but of him my son is a mirror. Whenever I would miss the Prophet, I'd find my son's cheek and kiss it and send blessings upon my grandfather. I ask you, O son of heroes, I ask you, O son of heroes, O you who blood of courage through your veins flows, you lifted high the gate of Khaybar, but did you ever have to lift a spear from your son's chest and watch it tear away the chest of Ali Akbar? Oh my father, what a test! A Muhammad without a chest, and I endure this terror of my mind. What shall become? In a world much different to ours, where seconds prolong to hours, Ali Akbar opens his eyes. He's welcomed by his grandfather. He's welcomed by his grandfather. In Muhammad's arms he'd wither on the chest of prophets. Ali cries. Ali's tongue like desert from thirst. Akbar's tongue is like desert from thirst. Even tears from his eyes cannot burst. He sees water in Ahmed's arm lies. His arm reaches for the water, but then he recalls his father, and from the water Ali Akbar shies, saying, "Oh grandfather, I cannot drink until my father has drunk." And they both cry and wail together. They cry, Husain has no one, a father weeps for his son, and Muhammad leaves with Ali Akbar. Muhammad leaves with Ali Akbar. Ba Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat. Let's have a second much louder salawat. We sallu ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Of course, I don't always take too much of your time, but inshallah, I hope that you give me the honor of allowing me to recite to you this small service that I consider to be this poetry of my own. Of course, let us not forget that it was so soon after the death of the Holy Prophet that the house of Fatima Zahra alayhi salam was attacked. Of course, we generally mourn the martyrdom of our dear mother Fatima Zahra, but we forget that the actual attack on the house took only a few weeks or so after the death of her father, the Holy Prophet, which makes it even more heartbreaking. I want to take you to after that event, when she stands in the courtyard of the Caliph, just like her daughter Sayyidah Zainab would do so many years later, standing there requesting her haqq, delivering her sermon that shook the throne of tyranny. And it's there that I see stars would circle her defiant veil. I saw stars would circle her defiant veil, whilst her foes would fail, Zahra would prevail. There is a story that's hidden. There is a story that's hidden in history's secret. So few tongues would tell it that its taste words forget. It's what happened to the daughter of the best of all men, who passed away broken, denied paper and pen. In his shadow stood a shadow, fearless, not hesitant, hidden and yet defiant, the oppressed against the tyrants. They wanted her veil oppressed, but these tyrants she addressed, and her words on them would hail. Zahra would prevail. There she stood, a woman against men known for their power, yet on them she would tower. From iron was made this flower. Her veil that covered her body draped her from head to toe, armored her against her foe, and he shook when she said no, no to the reign that was Ali's, usurped by tyranny, whilst ere her veils carry, beneath them lies Ali. Beneath the veil that breathed, sat Ali with his sword sheathed. Ali her veil sail, Zahra would prevail. So glory be to the Lord that gave her tears such weight and such might, that her cries for Ahmed's plight had flipped the day into night. God knows what lamenting took place in her house of sorrow. Mourn her would her shadow, in her, mourn her would her shadow, and weep would her tomorrow. Her tears made a mountain on which against them she would stand and tell them, understand, my Ali will never give his hand. Allegiance we shall not pay. Be it us your sword slay, her words none could jail. Zahra would prevail. She says, O you who usurped us of our rights. O you who usurped us of our rights, know that daily in my prayer I'll curse you and your heir until my last breath of air. Your heir burnt the daughter of my house. Your heir burnt the door of my house. The door of my father, my Muhsin would wither. His ashes I'd gather. If you return for forgiveness, know that my Lord shall not forgive. A mercy he would give, and you yearned it not to live. In every prayer I'll send upon the first and the second, prayers that make men frail. Zahra would prevail. My veil, it is defiance. My veil, it is defiance. Some call it oppression, but wear it shall brave women as a flag of freedom. Freedom from men that think women like me can be shaken. In the veil I walk in, your throne I have broken. My daughters till the end of time, their shackles they shall break. Revolutions they shall make, leaving tyrants awake. Know this and remember that our veils are armor. The thrones of tyrants fall, and Zahra would prevail. And finally I told my husband to bury me beneath the depths of the night, to throw dust upon my light, and let the earth swallow my might. Hide my grave and keep it hidden. Hide my grave and keep it hidden as a proof of my pain. Let no one else see its grains except for Hassan and Hussein, and tell my two beloved children that they shall see their days when Hassan poison sways and on earth my Hussein lays. When Hussein lies barren, my veil shall shroud it, and at his burial Zahra shall prevail. I saw stars would circle her defiant veil, and whilst her foes would fail, Zahra would prevail. Whilst her foes would fail, Zahra would prevail. Thank you so much for listening. May Allah accept all a'mal. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat.